Howdy, I'm Al. This is Beansy, my sidekick. We're talking about, this is the third video about symbolism specifically, and it's about symbolism that comes into the second coming. We were looking at the words that made up the bulk of what this was all about, or the beginnings of it, certainly. The second coming, I guessed right off the top it would be Christ. And let's just follow through, see if it is towards Bethlehem to be born. Bethlehem, Christ. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. Bethlehem, second coming. That's not bad at all. I guess we're sort of on the right track at least. Can't tell until we finish the poem. I'd like to talk about one concept that's very important in all of writing. It has to do with micro and macro. It's also a concept in economics. In writing, the micro usually deals with the individual, the man, what he's made of, his moral center. Is he a good guy, a bad guy? That's the micro. The macro is his government or his town, or the bar he goes to can be the macro. But in this particular case, it has to do with the world itself and all of the governments in the world. Let's just begin and see what happens here. Turning and turning in a widening gyre. Obviously something's going around. A gyre, bigger and bigger and bigger, like one's life is matched in those turns. But I'm not going to get into that one right now. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. The falcon, meaning the man himself, the individual in the micro sense, cannot hear the falconer. The falconer can be God. The falconer can be his own moral center. Or when we jump to the macro side of it, the falcon, meaning the country or the countries or the world, cannot hear the falconer, cannot hear what's right and what's wrong. God, for instance. And what happens? Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Happens to a man, happens to a government, can happen to the world. Look at climate change. Look at what's happening in America right now. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Well, what is going on in the world right now? This is a poem written by, specifically, Yeats. I've talked about him. If you move on this area here, you'll note it talks about the poet himself. This is a very, very good site. Should come to it if you are poets, if you're interested in it. It's called thepoetryfoundation.org. It's https://www.poetryfoundation.org. But you can copy it down if you want to. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loose. Blood-dimmed tide is referring to war. Are there wars? Has there ever not been wars on this planet, for crying out loud? Is loosed and everywhere. The ceremony of innocence is drowned. Hey, there ain't no Geneva Convention in wars. War is anarchy. There ain't no rules in climate change. It's going to come upon us and we're not going to be ready for it. The best lack all conviction. In other words, the politicians who really want good, they aren't powerful enough, forceful enough. They do not have just the oomph to push them over that edge, to push people to follow them. While the worst are full of passionate intensity. You merely have to look at Trump. He's right on there. I want to go back just a hair. I want you to think specifically of a shape with a lion body and head of a man. Now, that's a sphinx. We know that. But what does that represent, actually? Well, a lion body, if you think about it, the lion, by tradition, is the most powerful form of nature, the most representative of the most symbolically, the most powerful form of nature. Head of a man would be the head, the smarts of mankind with the ability to control nature. Now, what exactly what is that? Well, since we developed our science, we've developed greater and greater technology. With that technology, we are in control of nature. What rough beast, its hour come at last, slouches toward Bethlehem. And look how it describes the technology, science, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun. Does science have a moral center? Does economics have a moral center? Does technology have it? No, it does not. The only thing that has a moral center is the arts. So I started to tie it together. I think in the next video, I might be able to pull it all together. Thank you very much for listening.